Welcome to the GDevelop 5 game development stream, and in this video we are going to be working on our other scenes which we have to make. For example, the scene which will show us the local leaderboard and the global leaderboard, and a scene to delete the account of the user, and a scene to change the profile picture, or a scene to change the password. So we will do all that, and so let's get started. I will open my project now. So there it is, and first of all, I think I should create the password reset screen. So I will go to my login scene, because uh, most likely, when will a person want to reset their password? When they have forgotten their password, right? Most likely. So in login scene, if you have forgotten your password, you will not be able to log in. So we will also have an option here that will let the user change their password using the code which they have, right? So we will do that now. I will shift this button little bit above, and I will shift the text also a little bit above, and that's good. So I will need another text object, so I will make one, add a new object, and text. So I will type password reset text, and size can be, I think, 40, and color should be orange, and the text which it should display is forgot password. So that is good. If you forgot password, you can simply click here, touch this button, and you will be taken to the reset password scene, password reset scene. So I will now make a password reset scene. I will click to add a new scene, and I have the new scene. I will rename it to password reset, right, and I will open it. I need a black screen here. Add an animation default and edit with Pascal. So there it is, and you can add the back button also, because uh, if a user has clicked on forgot password and they are taken to the forgot password scene, they should be able to return from there. Suppose they suddenly remember their password, or suppose they don't want to reset their password, they don't even want to log in, they just want to play the game without logging in. So these options may be in user's mind, so you should provide a back button here. So let me call the function for the back button. First of all, let me implement this button in the login scene and write the code for it. It will be very simple. I will simply copy this one and right click and copy, and simply right click here again and click on paste, and instead of register text I will choose password reset text. So I have it, I will select it, and when it is told, I will be taken to not to create account, but to password reset. Okay, so now password reset scene will open when the user will click on this, and so here we will be there. Let me first implement the back button. So I will first simply add a new event, empty event, and without any condition, just add an action, and that action should be simply the button extension which we have made ourselves, and then choose the button, and then click on simulate back button, press, choose the back button, then click on OK, right? So back button has been simulated, and now uh, in password reset scene we will ask the user for two things. We will ask them for their username and we will ask them for their code, right? So we have to make a couple of input taking system. First I will make a text which will be password reset. I will call it heading, which will be the heading of the scene. I think it should be 60, that should be enough. And choose orange. You can click on bold and then type reset password, and I will click on apply. I will simply drag it here, and so that is looking okay, right? And now I will click on add a new object again. I will add a simple object, reset password message, and this will show some instructional message to user. This will show the user some instruction, that is what to do. Enter your username and enter the secret code, or you can say code which you received the first time you created your account. If you have lost the code, then there is no way to access your account. Right, apply, and then I will simply drag this instruction over here. Enter your username and enter the code which you received the first time you created your account. If you have lost the code, then there is no way to access your account. So that is something, a message, and I will punctuate it a little better, and yeah, so that is looking better. Now I need some input field, some text. So I will simply add a new object text, and I will call it username or text label, right? I will give it a size of 40 and color of orange, and I will simply type username and apply, and I will simply duplicate it, and I will call it password text label, and I will type password here, right, and apply, and I will simply drag it here, and I will drag the password also here, right? So that is good. And now I need some white screen which I can put here where the user will type, right? So I will follow the same convention which I followed in the login scene, right? Because I will copy the code from the login scene, so that the names of all the objects should be same, because if they are same it will be easy to simply copy and paste the code from here to the password reset events, right? So what is the name of, okay, the white screen name is password white screen and username white screen. So I will make the white screen in my this scene also with the same name. So I will click on sprite. I will type password white screen, and I will click on add an animation. I will call it default and edit with Pascal, and you can resize for easy editing. Just click on the white, select the white, and save, apply, and I will simply duplicate it, and I will call it username white screen, right, and I will drag this one first, and this is the password white screen. I want the username white screen below the username. That is important, right? You should take care that you put the username white screen below the username, even though they are looking the same, but they are named differently, and that matters. So the width and height is, width is 392 and height is 69 for our username white screen, and the same will be for the password white screen as well. Width 392 and height 69. So I will click on it. I will choose custom size. I will type 392 here and 69 in the height. So that's good. And the X position of this is 149, and I will put the X position of this also as 149, so that they are both in the at the same place considering the X axis. And so that's good. And well, now I need username text and password text. Let me see what names I have chosen in the login scene. So in the login scene I have this one. This is called username data, this is called password data. So with the same name I will create these two in my password reset scene as well. So add a new object, text, I will call it username data, and size should be 40 and color should be white, and text should be enter username, right, and apply. And I will simply duplicate it and I will type password data, and I will double click on it and I will choose write enter password, right. So that's good. Username data and password data, I can simply drag them here. Oh, it's white in color, it should be black in color. So yeah, because white won't show on white, and that's good. Username data, enter username, that's good. And password data, enter password, that is also good, right. And now we need the arrows which were there. So the arrows are called password arrow and username arrow. So I will choose the same name for them. I will add a new object and sprite, and I will call it password arrow and add an animation and choose default. I will simply add the arrow which I already have made, which is present in my folder. So I will just search for it. So there it is. I will choose it and I will click on apply. I will simply duplicate this one and I will call it username arrow. Username arrow, right? And I will put the username arrow next to the username white screen, and I will put the password arrow next to the password white screen, right? And almost at the same x value, almost at the same value in the x axis for both of them, right. So that's looking okay. And now I need the text entry object, which is an invisible object. Let me see the name of the text entry object which I have used in the login scene. So the name is password text and username text. So I will choose the same name here also. I will click on add a new object, and text entry, what was that, password text and username text, right. Yeah, password text and username text, so that's good. And now I will add another one, add a new object and text entry, and call it username text, right. So that should be okay, should be good. And I will drag the username text and put it next to the username white screen, and I will drag the password text and put it next to the password white screen. And you can put it actually anywhere you want, it's not, it doesn't matter where you put this object, because this is an invisible, but it should be inside the scene, right, or it won't work. So and now I need a button, and I will again add a new object, right, and I will call it password reset button, right. Add an animation and call it default, and I will simply, not default, you should call it idle, because it will be a button. So and click on add, because I already have the art for that. I will choose this one, and then add an animation and call it hover, and I will choose that one. So that's good. And now I will go to my behaviors, and I will add a behavior to this object, and the behavior is the button behavior which we have made ourselves. I will choose the button animation number to be played when player hovers over the button. It is 1. and animation number to be played when player does nothing to the button is 0, and animation number to be played when player presses the button is also 0 because we have not made anything for that. So let it be 0 and click on apply. I will simply drag this button here, and it is a big and good button, and that's good. Let me see if I can put this word inside this button, these words, and these words are password reset heading. Yes, they will fit perfectly inside my button, so that is a good thing. I will not need to make another text object to put in the button, so that is good. So we have more or less completed the designing of our password reset scene, and now let's write some code in it. First of all, I will copy some code from my login scene, and at the beginning of the scene you should copy this one. I will select it and I will right click, I will copy it, and I will go to my password reset scene events, and I will click here on any event and right click and paste. So it has been copied and pasted. Since we have the same name same name of similar objects both in password reset scene and login scene, we do not have to change anything, change the names, right? Earlier when we did it in the create account scene, we had to change lots of things, but here we don't have to do that, so that is good. And the next events are these, so I will simply shift select them and copy them all, and this event was running without any condition, and we have such an event here, this one. So you can simply paste the actions here, and you also have to we have simulated back button, but we also have to simulate the password reset button. Here it is the login button, but here it is the password reset button. So I will add an action and go to all the way to button extension which we have made ourselves, and then we'll go to button. Then we can click on button function and choose password reset button, and then it will simulate the button function, button behavior on our password reset button, right, which will make our button change its animation when we hover over it, or unhover over it, or not hover over it, right? So that's what it will do. And what else do we need? We need all these four, 1 2 3 4 functions, I mean events. I'll simply copy them, shift select them all, and right click and copy, and you can come back to password reset event. You can select any event and right click and paste, and they have been pasted above this one. I will simply take this one and drag it above, right? So like this I have them below it. Since we have the same name of similar objects in both the scenes, we don't need to change anything here, hopefully. Let's see what else is there. And other than these four events, we have the implementation of the buttons. That is what will happen when the user clicks on the buttons. So we may need this one. I'll simply copy it and paste it over here. I will click on this and right click and paste. It has been pasted above. I will simply drag it down, and we don't have a login button. I have a password reset button, right? Password reset button, and when the mouse will be on password reset button and when left mouse button will be released, then what will happen? We will pause the scene and start another scene, and that scene will be password reset request, right? Password reset request, and not login request. So I have to make a new scene called password reset request. So I will click on my project manager and click to add a new scene, and I have added a new scene. I will change its name to uh, password reset request. There it is. I will click it, and I need a black screen here. I will make one then. I will add an animation and call it default. Edit with PScale. There it is. You can add the back button also, because sometimes error may occur on the request, so the user should be allowed to go back and correct their mistake, right? So that's why we need the back button here. And so here in the password reset events, we should pause the scene and start the password reset request scene. Password reset request. So click on OK, and now this scene will be opened when we click on the password reset password button, right after entering our details. So yeah, here although in the events, inside the events, we have the name, password white screen, and password text, and password arrow, password data. We will change this password to code, only to show the user that you have to enter the code here, and instead of enter password we will simply type enter code. That's all, right? Username and code. Although inside the script, in the programming part, we have written password and our objects are named as password data and password arrow. We want the code, we will simply type code here. It will not matter. We will, when we will send the request, we will send this data as a code to the server and not as a password, right? So that will be handled in the password reset request. So we will do that. And again we need to, I think I will just have a look at my server and see server code and see what I am sending in the password reset scene. So I have password reset here and I am sending username, code, and a new password also, right? So yeah, for resetting the password you need a new password too. Okay, so I think you can simply keep this label as password only, because we need a code label anyway. So let me change it back, enter password. So we need another field here which will be the actual password, and we have it, but we also need the code. So I will have to put them little above because there is no space here, and this one also. It will take some time. I will have to add another field here, and that will be code. So I will make another text object, text, and I will call it code text label. Code text label size should be 40, color should be orange, and it should say code, right? And I will drag it here, code, okay. And then I need a code white screen, okay. So let me create a code white screen, add an animation. I will call it default and I edit with Piskel. And the size was 392 and 69. So I will choose the same for it, 392 and 69. That is good. What is the x position? 149. So I will choose the same x position, 149. Right. That is looking good. Let me put it a little bit below so that it looks like it's in the center almost. Yeah, it's looking good. And I need code data also, text object, code data, and its size should be 40, its color should be black only, and you can say enter code here, code data, enter code, right? So that's good. And I need a code arrow just like the username arrow. I will simply duplicate the password arrow and I will call it code arrow, and I will simply drag it here, right? So that's good. And I now need a code text which will be a text entry object. So add a new object and text entry and just type code text and apply, and simply drag it next to the code white screen, and maybe put it where these two are so that it looks symmetrical and all. And now we need to write the code for this input field, right? So let me do that. I will go to my password reset events and I have the codes for username and password all over the place. I will simply have to write one more for the code, for entering the code. So I will simply click here and right click and copy and paste here and drag it over there so that it's all together, and I will simply write here code text, right? And I will copy this one also and I will paste it here, and I will simply change this to code arrow, and here I will simply uh, I may need another variable, so global variable called code. So we have to do that. Let me, and whenever you add a global variable, you should also try to save it, which will be a good practice. It's not necessary to save the code variable, but we will just do it just to keep everything symmetrical and orderly. So I will go to my project manager and I will go to game settings and global variables. I will create a new global variable and I will call it code, and the code will be a string, right now it will be empty. So click on apply, and I will have to make a new variable in the data loader scene as well, and I will go to my scene therefore and go to data loader and click here and click edit scene variables, and I will simply add another variable at the end and call it code, and it will be an empty string simply, and apply. So I will have that variable, yeah, it is there. So I will now have to open my event, load event and save event. In the load event I will simply have to copy this one, copy and paste it here and bring it above so that it's all together, and double click on it, and instead of is logged in group I will simply write the name of the group as code, and scene variable is not is logged in, scene variable is code. So that will be saved in the SoulHunter save file. Click on OK. So that is good. And now here also I will simply have to copy the last statement and paste it over there and double click on it and modify the value of a global variable. Yeah, you can do that. It's working so far, so it will work. Code is equal to the scene variable, not is logged in. It should be value of a scene variable code, so that is okay, that is working. And the thing is that, let me show you something. I think this is a little bit a kind of a mistake, because here we have these four variables. Email we don't need, but since it has come here, we should keep it. Email, username, password, and code. These four variables are of type string. They are strings, they are not values, right? So rest of them are values, they are all numbers, but these four are 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These four are strings. So in the load event especially, here it is okay, because you can read the text also. So I think we have to do that change when we are reading email from the storage Sulunter save file. We should read a text instead of a value, because that is important. Read from the store as text. And for the username also we should do the same, read a text. For password also should do the same, read a text. And for code also we should do the same, read a text. Read a text, not a value. So text is, there should be text in only email, username, password, and code, and nothing else. Rest of them are okay. Here also, when we are changing the global variable, we are not changing the value of email, we are changing the text of email. So let me change it to simply string. Just click on string and everything will be fine. Change the text of global variable email. Same for the username, just click on string. Same for the password, just click on string. Same for the code, just click on string, and that should be good. I'm not sure if it is good or not, but it should be, hopefully. We will see if there is any problem in that. So now our load event is good, it's looking okay. And in the save event also we will have to do some changes. Save event, save scene has nothing, data saver scene has nothing other than calling the save event. So we don't have to do anything in data saver scene, we have to do things in data save event. And first of all we will have to copy this and paste it here and bring it above to keep it all together, and double click on it, and instead of is logged in I will simply type the name code, and well I pressed on escape, code, and instead of global variable is logged in I will choose global variable code. So right now it is putting the value in all these. I want to put the text for email, for username, for password, and for code. So let me double click and see if there is any difference. Yeah, there is a difference. I'm writing a value. For email I want to write a text, so I will write a text. Simply click on text, and for the username also do the same thing, write a text. For password also do the same thing, write a text. And for code also do the same thing, write a text, right? So that should be good, that should work properly, and we will see if it will or not. So close the save event. So now it's looking good. And yeah, we created a new variable. We all did all this just to create one new variable. So it is a good practice to try to create all the variables which you want in your game before implementing the save and load function. But it's okay, sometimes you have to do things out of the way. So here I am changing the text of password data to password text dot string. Similarly, I will do the same for my code data also. I will bring it above to keep it all together. And instead of username data, you can choose code data. Instead of username text dot string, you can choose code text dot string, right? So, and here also I'm changing the text of global variable username to username text dot string. I will do the same for my code global variable as well. Copy this and paste it here and bring it above to keep it all together, and double click on it, and you can just type code and you will get the variable. And instead of password text dot string, you can simply type code text dot string. So that should work nicely. And I have cursor, my left mouse button was released for both of them, and I have left mouse button, and no, not that, I have cursor slash touch is on username widescreen for both of them, and I have cursor slash touch is on username widescreen inverted condition for both of them. So I will have to copy and paste both for the code also, code widescreen as well. So simply click on this event and right click and copy, and I will click on this event and right click and paste again. So I have two of them now. I will go to here and I will simply type code white screen, and I have the code white screen here, and here activate capture by password text. Here I will simply type code text, right, and instead of password arrow I will simply select code arrow, code arrow. Okay, so I have done one for the cursor slash touch is on code widescreen. Now I have to do one for the inverted condition. So for that I will copy this one, right click and copy, and click here, right click and paste, and you can simply change password white screen to code white screen, and we have it. And here instead of password text you can simply change it to code text and select it, and instead of password arrow you can simply change this to code arrow and select it, and there it is. So that should be good, it should work. Let's test this scene and see if we can type the values properly or not. Yeah, let's test it out. There it is. So it's working pretty well, so that's good. And now let's write some code in our password reset request as well. But before we do that we have to put a few things here, and those things are: one, we need a text field to show the user the message from the server which the server has sent, whether the password was reset or whether the server encountered an error. And by default we will just assume that error occurred, so we will do that. And we also need a button which will take us back to the login screen, so that after resetting the password the user can again try to log in, right? So we need two texts. I will add a new object. I will use text and I will call it password reset message, and the size should be 40 and color should be white. and it should say error occurred by default. Its contents will change according to what the server sends us. And add a new object, again choose text and choose login text. It will take us back to the login scene. Size 40, color should be orange, and type login. You can type login with new password just to keep it user friendly, and let's see if it fits. It does. So I think the size of 60 will be better. 40 looks too small, 60 looks too big, but it almost it almost fits. So we will let it be here. Login with new password, right? And password reset message, error occurred. By default it will read error occurred, otherwise it will read something else like account created or something. So yeah, that's looking okay for our purpose. And now let us send some requests. I will create a new event which is empty. I will go to my login request now. I will close the login scene because now I need the login request scene. So login request, there it is. And I will go here and simply copy this event, copy, and go to my password reset request and simply click on this event and right click and paste, and I have it here. I will go to the request part, sending the request part, and which script do we want to send the request to. So let me go to my server code, and my name of my password resetting script is password reset.php. So I will type that in password reset.php, password reset, right? That's good. And what am I sending to the password reset script? The password reset script wants username, code, and password, right? And I am sending right now username and password. I also want to send code. You can send them in any order. Order does not matter, but you have to send all the things which the script wants. I will, from this plus, you can take this plus and drag everything till the end and click and copy, Control C, and then paste, Control V, and instead of password you can simply type code, and global variable string, instead of password you can type code, right? So now we are sending our global variable code to the script password reset.php, which is hosted in our server tool under downtown.herokuapp.com, right? Method will be post, and we will receive the response in our JSON response from server scene variable, which we don't have in this scene yet. So I will create one. I will call it JSON response from server and let it be empty and click on apply. So I collect it JSON response from server. So this request has been made. So I will click on OK. And now for parsing, double click on it, and I will parse the JSON response from server variable, which is my scene variable, in which I am receiving the result of the in which I am receiving the JSON data which the server is sending to me, and I have to parse it and store the parsed data in a scene variable in another scene variable. So I will have to create one. I will simply create a variable and call it JSON object and let it be empty and click on apply and just select it JSON object and click on OK. So we have sent the data, we have received some JSON data back, and we have parsed it and stored the parsed data in our JSON object scene variable. Now we have to do something with it. We have to check if success was true or false. Let me check my server code and see. Yeah, success is true if it is true, code verified, and it is false if not verified. And I have to check the success field which is in my response response variable, add condition and variables, text of a scene variable, JSON object and equal to, and it shouldn't be just JSON object, you should access the particular field inside that object. So open and close square brackets and open and close double quotes and type the name of the field which you want to access. I will type success. It should be equal to the string true, right? This true should be the same as this true, okay? And the false should be the same false which we will write here, okay? So that is very important. So I will simply copy, click here, right click, copy it and click here again, right click and paste, and instead of true I will simply change it to false. So this is when we have successfully changed the password, this will run. If we are not able to successfully change the password, this will run. In the case this runs, we have to delete this text, because when error occurred we just want them to go back. Before that, let me implement the back button. So I will add a new event and without any condition, just add an action, button extension button, and simulate back button, press and choose the back button and click on OK. That should simulate the back button for me. And if it is success is false, I will delete this login text. Let me go to here, common actions for all objects, delete an object, and the object is login text. I will delete it, yeah, and then I will display the message, whichever message I received from the server, I will display it in this text field, which is the password reset message text field, text object. So add action and go to text object and modify the text and choose password reset message. It should be equal to the value which we received from server. So go to ABC and click on variables, text of a scene variable, and choose your JSON object and click on apply. And then here, after the letter T of JSON object, open and close square brackets, open and close double quotes, and inside it write message. That is whatever message we receive from the server. And we will do this both the cases here also. So I will click it, right click, copy and go here and paste. That will happen in both the cases. And back button, when we have successfully changed the password, I do not want the user to go back to the password reset scene, right? So I will delete the back button if we have successfully changed the password. So add action, common actions for all objects, delete an object, and the object which I want to delete is back button. I will delete the back button and click on OK, so the back button will be deleted. So now what I want to do is I want to implement the function for this button, this text. So let me do that. I will simply add a new event. I will drag it below and add condition, mouse and touch. The cursor slash touch is on an object and the object is login text and accurate text by default, yes, okay, and then mouse and touch, mouse button release, which button, left mouse button, click on OK. And what will happen when we press on this button, we will simply be taken to the login scene. And you should not pause the login scene. You should not pause this scene. You should simply take them to the login scene, or we can also do this. You know what? Change this to, no, let it be. I will simply take them to the main menu, because from login screen we have a problem that login scene has a back button, and if the user presses on the back button after going to the login scene from this scene, they will be taken back to this scene, and we don't want that to happen. Or you can simply do it this way: go to the login scene only, but close all other scenes, close all other pause scenes. That is also one way. Go to login scene, but select this, stop any other pause scenes, yes, select this as yes and click on OK. and then you will be taken to the login scene, and you will the back button in the login scene will lose the ability to go back because you have destroyed all the other scenes which were paused. So that should be done here. So now we just have to test this out, and that's okay. First of all, I do not remember the codes which I received when I created new account, so I will have to create another new account and get the code and then try to reset the password. That's something which we have to do. So let me start the game from the main menu itself and see if it works or not. So I will open my main menu, which is this, and I will run the game and test it. So click on this login. I will create a new account. So yeah, I have this uh, nice little code. What I will do is I will take a picture in my phone so that I remember the code, and let me do that. So you can see that I have taken a picture of the code screen on my phone. Now I will remember the code. So I have the code with me in my phone. Okay, so that's good. Now I will proceed, and now I will first try to log in and see if my login function is working or not. So let me see what was my username. Yeah, so it's working. Now we'll go to main menu, and now again I will log out, and now I will try to reset my password, and I will now type my code, which is 2, okay, wait, not here, I will type it here, 2C707A31B, 2C707831B, and a new password will be password 7661, right? Now let me send the request and see what happens. Yeah, password changed successfully. Now I can click on to login with new password. Let me see if the new password actually took effect or not. Yeah, it did. Now let me type a wrong password and see what happens. This wrong password is my older password, right? So it says error occurred. Now I can go back and type the correct password. Now I can access my dashboard. So that's good. So we saw that our game is work. I mean, this password reset scene is working properly, right? And we I think we have to test one more thing. When we put the wrong code, then what will happen? So let me just test it quickly, very quickly. I will just type some gibberish. Error occurred. Please try again. So that's good. It's working. You can go back all the way. So that's okay, right? I mean, so our password reset scene and this is working properly, so that's good. And so in this video we learned how to create a password reset system and send a password reset request to the server, so that's good. In the next video we shall see how to implement the rest of our scenes, and we still have to implement the account deletion scene and the profile picture changing scene, and we also need to fetch the global and local leaderboard. So if you are enjoying this stream, please join me in the next video as well. Thank you for watching.